Alright, David Harry here, and in this video I'm going to give you an example of Warzone Mobile playing from the new iPhone 16 Pro Max, which is what I've got here on the table. Now before I get into the gameplay example, I'm just going to explain a few things here, some basic technical stuff and some basic stuff to do with the settings for the game. However, if you have got no interest in that type of stuff, you can go straight to the gameplay. There will be a timestamp on the screen right now, and also there will be a chapter in the video taking you straight to the gameplay. Now the first thing that I want to mention is this is not a gaming channel. This is my main tech channel, and on here I do stuff to do with like phones, tablets, laptops, desktops, all kinds of stuff, mostly Apple and Android stuff and things like that. However, what happens is every now and then when a new game comes out or when a new device comes out, such as today with the new iPhone, I will do the odd gaming video because I'm dead into gaming. However, I do have a gaming channel, and there will be a link to that channel in the video description below, one at the end of the video, or you can go straight to it by going to www.thegamething.com. Now, if you are into Warzone Mobile, I've already got a ton of videos on that channel to do with Warzone Mobile, and there will be tons more coming up. I've done loads of stuff to do with like various Android phones, things like the S24 Ultra, S23 Ultra, Red Magic 9 Pro, things to do with like the Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max, the M4 iPad Pro, literally most of the main devices that you can think about playing Warzone Mobile on, you'll see stuff like that on my gaming channel. So if you're into the gaming stuff, defo check out that channel. Now the next thing that I'm going to explain here is exactly what is going on the table. As we can see, there's the game playing out on this monitor. So effectively what I've got here is an iPhone desktop gaming setup. Now I will be doing a video very soon which is going into like a lot of detail on how to set something up like this. However, just for now what I'm going to do is just give you a basic overview of what's going on here. So this box here just in front of the monitor, that's actually a Thunderbolt dock. Now, although it's a Thunderbolt dock, it will work with a lot of USB-C devices such as the iPhone and stuff. However, you can also use USB-C docks to do the exact same thing that I'm doing here. I'm just using this particular dock because this is what I use for my MacBook Pro, my iPads and all that kind of stuff, and it just works dead good with the iPhones as well, or the iPhones with USB-C on, so the 15 series and now the 16 series. Anyways, the thing with the dock is that it's going to give you like tons of options for interfacing for your iPhone. Now, the first interface, which is really important, is HDMI, and that's how I'm connecting the iPhone to my monitor to get the picture on the monitor. So as you can see here, there's a cable plugged into the iPhone that then plugs into the dock there, and then the dock has a HDMI socket on the back, and then I use a cable to plug that into my monitor. Now on top of that, also what I'm doing with this particular dock is to connect it to my internet using a wired cable. Now the reason why this is really important is because if you're using mobile devices, quite often you'll be connecting either via Wi-Fi to your home internet router, or maybe you might be using your data plan or something like that. However, if you connect via Ethernet and use a cable, it's going to help you with things like latency and ping, which is really super important, especially for FPS games like Warzone or probably most games actually, but it really does help to use a wired connection. Now another thing with the docking system, it'll give you access to USB ports and stuff like that, so you could plug say keyboards and mice in and things like that. Not necessarily for gaming because, well, this game can't utilize keyboard and mice. However, you could plug them in to use for your iPhone, so you can actually control stuff on the screen with the keyboard and the mouse. So really dead cool stuff you can do with the dock. On top of that, you might have docks with like say SD card sockets on them and stuff like that, so you got SD card access for your phone, and also things like headphone sockets and microphone inputs and things like that. Like I say, I will do a deep dive video on all that type of stuff. In fact, you know what, I'll do two videos. I'll do one specifically to do with a gaming setup, and then I'll do a second video with the iPhone 16 Pro Max to use it as like a computer setup with like keyboard, mouse and stuff like that. But anyway, that's the basic basic overview of what's going on here. Also, I'm using a PS5 DualSense controller here, or a Sony DualSense controller for the PS5. Now, the beauty of that particular controller is, if you want to, you can use it wired as well, or you can connect it via Bluetooth. I mean, I do use Xbox controllers, but with the Xbox controllers, they have to be connected via Bluetooth. The PS5 controller can connect via a USB cable if you want. And also, my good gaming YouTube buddy, Mike5G SR, has done strenuous testing, and he has confirmed that the PS5 controller is the best one to use on the Apple devices for Warzone Mobile. In fact, there will be a link to Mike5GSR's channel in the video description below, and there'll be a link somewhere. Go and check out his channel, especially if you are into gaming on the iPads. He's got like a whole bunch of iPads and does loads of Warzone Mobile stuff. Really cool channel. Anyways, I think that's probably the basic setup for the hardware there, and like I've just said, there will be a deep dive on a couple of setups to do with that type of stuff, so defo keep an eye on the channel for that. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is switch over to my HDMI recorder, which is an Atomos Ninja V, and what that's going to allow me to do is to record the HDMI output in like super high quality and stuff, and it will also enable me to now go through some of the settings for the game. Okay, so the first thing to show you then is that this is the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and as you can see here, the capacity of the one that I've got is 512 gigabytes. Now, it doesn't matter what capacity size your iPhone 16 Pro Max has got, they will all perform exactly the same as far as gaming is concerned, and obviously more importantly with this particular demonstration, Warzone Mobile. So now into the game itself, and I'm going to go through the graphics options here, and as we will see, I have got everything absolutely maxed out. So this will give you a really good example of the absolute highest possible quality as far as the graphics are concerned that we can get on the iPhone 16 Pro Max with Warzone Mobile. So first thing here is visual quality. As we can see, I have got that on peak. That is the highest setting. Now, if we come down here to FPS target, I'll just click into there. Now, I am on high, although we do have a higher option, which is uncapped. Now, just quickly, the reason why I am only on high is because I am on HDMI, and the maximum frame rate we can get over HDMI from any Apple portable device, such as an iPhone or an iPad, is 60 frames per second. So if I were to select uncapped, although technically that would generate more frames, we won't see them because we can only see 60 over HDMI. And so if I just switch back to high, we are now matching the output to 60 frames per second anyway, which is what high gets us. Now, one of the quick thing here about selecting uncapped, because it will put a lot more stress on the system in order to generate more frames, we may even start seeing things like a couple of frame drops here and there. I can confirm though, set to high, we get a solid 60 frames per second. Now, as far as resolution is concerned, once again, that is on its highest, which is high. And then upscaling quality, again, that is on its highest, which is high. And then for shadow quality, although I have got this maxed out on high, which is its highest settings, to be honest, I've only got it on high for this particular demonstration just because I want to max everything out. However, for my normal gameplay, I set shadow quality to low, and that's because I don't personally see that much visual difference within the shadow quality from low up to high. However, if you go to low, you are then putting less stress on the processing, which means then that you can maintain a high frame rate. Okay, so let me just pop down here. Now, as we can see here, anti-aliasing is grayed out. Now, the reason why that is because we've already got resolution and such like, and upscaling already set to their maximum, so we don't need to apply anti-aliasing under that instance. However, if you were playing with lower settings, then you can add some anti-aliasing. We just don't need to do it in this instance because of the graphic settings that we are using. Now, as far as bloom is concerned, once again, I've got that switched on, but that is also another thing that I would normally have switched off. Again, I just don't personally see the actual kind of graphics value to having it switched on. I don't really notice any difference with it. And once again, when it is switched off, it will give you back a little bit of processing power, which could indeed help you with frame rates and stuff. Now, as far as streaming over mobile data is concerned, I've got that switched on just in case it needs to download stuff. That particular setting has no bearing on graphics quality. And then field of view is set to 120 degrees. Now, that is going to be a super wide field of view. The reason why I choose that one is because it would appear that lots of people do like that field of view when they are watching the gameplay videos for Warzone Mobile. However, you can set that to a narrower field of view, which is probably a bit more sensible, to be honest. Actually, one other thing about selecting 120 degrees for the field of view, technically that will push the system harder. So once again, I am maxing out everything just so that we can definitely push the processing as far as we can here. And then obviously the setting below that is reset tab, which obviously is self-explanatory. Now, as far as sensitivity and such like are concerned, that is just basically personal preference. It's not worth me showing you my sensitivity settings because it probably might not be that good for other people anyway. Like I say, that's a very personal thing. So what I'm going to do is just pop back here. Now, if I go into the game modes, what I'm going to do is to select a mobile royale game. So what I'm going to do here is get into this game. It's going to be about 10 to 12 minutes long, something like that. Now, I won't edit this particular footage here because it might just be interesting for people to be able to see, you know, examples of the actual visual quality. So not just like, you know, the fighting and stuff like that. I'll try and go to parts of the map where maybe we can see differences in like buildings or like scenery and stuff like that, and hopefully this will give you a really good idea as to how it all looks completely and utterly maxed out. Anywho, I'm just going to hit play here and then I will fast forward into a game.
Soldier, mark a drop point for your team. All right, lads, let's get it done. Listen up, soldier. Win here and you return to the front line. But if you lose, you're done. Return back to the front line. You've earned it. Enemy dropping into the AO.
Get heavy! Watch when you are shooting! Watch when you are shooting!
You've got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
Dust to dust!
Gas is closing in. Enemy dropping into the AO. inbound. Safe zone relocated. Enemy dropping into the AO.
Hostile mortar strike incoming. Enemy precision airstrike. Find cover.
Gas is closing in. 10 remaining. Keep it up.
Throwing smoke. Don't worry, we'll make it.
Got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated. Only 5 left.
Don't worry, you'll make it.
Gas is closing in. That's a win. Proper job.